Chick-fil-A, Courtyard by Marriott Bangor. Officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated or grass will move from Boucher Field. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for today's contest. First, for the visiting Lynx. A sophomore midfielder, number 12, Caleb Race. A sophomore goalkeeper, number 35, Aiden Hendricks. A junior defender, number 4, Paul Adebuwale. A junior midfielder, number 5, Aiden Stafford. A junior defender, number 6, Miles Brajic. A sophomore midfielder, number 7, Miguel Vasconcelos. A first-year forward, number 16, Wasim Shaib. A first-year midfielder, number 20, Soledson Segundo. A first-year forward, number 21, Anthony Nicoletto. A sophomore midfielder, number 22, Tyler Fortin. And a junior midfielder, number 23, Nick Wadley. The Lynx are under the direction of head coach Anthony Farago. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Husson University Eagles. A graduate student captain from Concord, New Hampshire, number 6, Mosi Masimango. In goal, a freshman from Nepal, Netherlands, number 41, Wessel de Witt. A senior from Los Rozas, Spain, number 4, Pedro Molina. A sophomore from Caracas, Venezuela, number 5, Victor Blanco. A senior from Madrid, Spain, number 9, Mario Alvarez. A junior from Valeris, France, number 12, Arik Weinstein. A sophomore from Bogota, Colombia, number 20, Daniel Noguera. A sophomore from Burrillville, Rhode Island, number 28, Adam Woods. A senior from Frauenfeld, Switzerland, number 30, Florian Gasser. A sophomore from Bangor, Maine, number 31, Beckett Parkin. And a graduate student from Farmingdale, Maine, number 39, Josh Neto. The Eagles are coached by Carlos Bermudez, and he's assisted by Matt Goodman and Alex Bryant. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and honor America with a playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen, joined alongside by Jacob Willett here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network for this North Atlantic Conference men's soccer matchup here as the Lesley Lynx take on your Husson University Eagles here at Boucher Field. Jacob, we saw the Eagles win late yesterday, 3-2 over Lesley. It was a very close game. Lesley was up in that one for a little bit, but a little flurry of goals for the Eagles, as well as Mario Alvarez and Pedro Molina playing well. Definitely played favors for Husson.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing the same team back-to-back days, both teams know what's going on with their opponent to begin with. So it's really trying to see who can adjust to the other team quicker in this second game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You don't see a whole – soccer's kind of a little too physical of a sport to play the same team back-to-back days. And then we've talked about this on the broadcast multiple times that when you have those games that are kind of right back-to-back against a conference opponent, especially if it's really physical in the first game, then usually you have a few weeks to kind of get rid of that memories. You might remember the one guy who kind of hacked you, but if it's the day prior, you're definitely going to remember that guy who hit you too hard in the middle or fouled you out there on the field. And we'll see if that plays out. I could see this turning very physical as this game goes on.
Yeah, I definitely one hard tackle to start this game. It's going to get real chippy really quick. And with it being a conference matchup, the intensity is going to be a little higher than it would being a non-conference game.
And just visually, I think this Lynx team looks a little bit bigger out there than this Eagles squad. Husson definitely usually kind of plays the physicality level of their opponents.
I think today's going to be a good day for the Eagles with the smaller size advantage to use their speed on the wings and try and run past these Lynx defenders to try and generate more offense.
And the Eagles coming out today in their all black and green uniforms. I like these ones a lot, actually. And the Lynx wearing the whiteouts. So good clash out there on the field. The Eagles will not be starting with the ball here.
Yeah, usually you see the whites or the grays for the Eagles. These black and green ones, they look really good on the field.
And Husson's had some success in their last. We mentioned Molina and Alvarez yesterday combining together for all three of the Eagles' goals. Alvarez came on at halftime, I believe, and definitely kind of kick-started the Eagles' offensive push out there. This one's going to be passed all the way back to the keeper here for Lesley. They're going to look to test out this Eagles defensive unit. I know you mentioned it, Jacob, that when you saw the team yesterday, you now kind of know what they are going to do out there a little bit. This one's going to get thrown into the middle. That one all the way up the field. Massamago on it. Massamago now playing more of that center back role than we've seen from him in years past, while Blanco's kind of moved up into that defensive midfield role. I think that was definitely a good move, Jacob, to kind of give the Eagles a little more seniority out there on the back line.
Yeah, absolutely. With Masimango being pretty vocal leader, good strong defender, having him on that back line directing traffic is a lot better. I think a lot better for the Eagles than if he's playing up in the midfield trying to play throughout the middle of the field.
Well, and we've kind of mentioned it all year. Obviously, the Eagles graduating a lot of their defending class from last year. Looks like Parkin got caught in the face on that one in the middle. I don't think that was anything intentional, just stray arm out there.
It's a good first opportunity for the Eagles to try and generate some offense early in this game.
So it'll be Alvarez over the ball. He's been great on these set pieces. That one almost gliding its way in towards Masimango. Weinstein's going to put one on. That one saved by the keeper, though. Like Alvarez trying to find Molina out there on that left wing. Molina, as of late, has assumed a much larger offensive role. I think something that's played well for the Eagles.
Yeah, getting him in this game early on the offensive end, trying to get an early lead for the Eagles. They generated a lot of their offense late in the game yesterday. Having an early attack, early goal to start this game is going to boost the confidence of everybody on the Eagles.
Well, in seasons past, we've seen Molina in more. Obviously, he's been a defender for the Eagles, but we saw him as very much of an attacking wingback that moved up the field a lot. A couple seasons for the Eagles where they had the 4 back line, he would definitely push up the field. So now just pushing him up the field just a little bit more to more of a wing position. It's basically taking away some of his defensive responsibilities out there. One out wide to Weinstein. Weinstein's been a very consistent starter for the Eagles in the last couple weeks. Him along with Woods are two of the guys who assumed some bigger roles defensively for the Eagles. Eagles working it through the middle. This one trying to go back post. Going to get poked up in the air. Neto heading it towards Nogueira. Still fighting for it. That one in the middle. Nogueira goes down. No foul, though. Good clean tackle on the defensive end. That's probably one of the Eagles' better chances of the contest. And Gasser managing to poke that one off the defender. Going to go into the middle here to Neto. Eagles fortunate on that one. I think Neto kicking that right off the defender's hand. So the Eagles now with a free kick in a very good spot here. We've seen Alvarez score from this position. I think he's a little bit wide of where he would like to be.
I think if you pushed him inside the 18 area, then you'd have a better shot at putting one in the back of the net.
That one, great ball to the back post, just knocked away. I think the keeper got a hand on that. Alvarez has gotten so good at those free kicks towards the back post. Good job defensively there from Neto. I know we were talking about it up here in the booth. Alvarez has kind of become one of those players in the conference, Jacob, that you kind of can't afford to give the Eagles a free kick within 20 yards of the 18 because he can just put it kind of on a platter for anybody out there.
He's definitely one of those players in the conference that when you see the Eagles on the schedule, you kind of have to game plan against him. You want to try and be beat. If you're going to lose, you want to be beat by someone other than him.
Yeah, Alvarez, I think, over his years here with the Eagles has kind of pushed himself up into that kind of top of the conference, one of the better offensive players out there. So that one just straying its way wide. So the Eagles the Lynx that is not putting a whole lot of pressure on the Eagles back line. We'll see if that changes as the contest goes on. I think we've seen Husson struggle the most when they're kind of in those, they're trying to comfortably pass it around on the defensive end, and you have those strikers really pressing up on them.
I definitely feel like it's more feeling out. Again, playing again, second day in a row, trying to feel out what the defense is going to do. And then maybe if they go down a goal early, that's when we'll see the pressure start to build up.
That one, a great ball through, but DeWitt's going to get there first. This one's going to get dropped straight off to Masamongo. This is what we were just talking about, Jacob. Lesley not really pressing up on these defenders at all. But it's one of those ones that you can kind of, you don't press them all that much, and then later in the contest, you start pressing them and it can catch teams off guard. Very much a counter-attacking formation out there.
Being so early in this game, you don't want to try and press up too much and then get beat over the top. Have a good scoring opportunity for the opposition.
It was Nugara there in the midfield trying to take that one away. It's good to see him back out on the field. I know missed a few games after the second of the two Presque Isle games the Eagles played. Be a throw in here for the Lynx on the far side. That one's going to get off the shoulder of Molina. Good little header there from Alvarez to find Neto. And a smart play there from Weinstein to just head that back to the keeper. Obviously, if you pass that with another part of your body part, keeper can't pick that one up. And Alvarez, good little turn there in the middle. And Parkin puts that one off the defender. But fortunate bounce right back to the Eagles. That one trying to send one up the field. Plenty of room, though, for DeWitt to just collect. Nugara going into the middle here to Blanco. It's Eagles midfield playing well together right now.
Start to see as the season goes on the chemistry that's being built between this group.
Woods trying to go on a little bit of a run there. This Eagles team has a lot of different guys they can bring in into the midfield. We haven't seen Etcheverse this weekend. He's someone who has been a very, very consistent starter for the Eagles. I think dealing with a few small injuries. He had 90 minutes against the University of New England a few days ago.
It's also good to get him healthy because he's one of the key players for this Eagles team. As you head down the stretch into the playoff season, that's a guy that you're going to really want on the field.
Yeah, I think two of the things that the Eagles want to have going for them as the season goes on and they get into that playoff type scenario, I think the two biggest keys that I can see from them, one of those is they need to finish their chances out there. The Eagles have generated a lot of shots this season and have not been successful on a lot of them. And that's something that I know Coach Bermudez has been harping on them for a lot of the season. And it's a problem the Eagles have had with this group for a while now, that just kind of that ability to get right around goal and then not finish that chance. And then the other one is this Eagles team has dealt with a lot of injuries this year. Not a lot of major ones, not kind of that ACL tear out for the year, but more that 2-week kind of sprain, and then you come back from it and you're kind of gimpy for another 3 weeks, and then it's one of those ones that you could then mess up later in the year. But I think if the Eagles can go into the playoffs with a full roster that is at least mostly healthy to the point that you could tape it up if you needed to kind of thing, that would be really big for this Husson squad.
Yeah, the offensive consistency is also something that you mentioned. They'll go on games where they'll score multiple goals, 3, 4, 5 goals. Then they'll go multiple games scoring like maybe 2 goals over 3 games. Being able to have the offensive consistency heading into the playoffs is something that's going to be very key for this team, like you said.
It's one that passed out wide to Weinstein. So we'll see how that plays out with this Eagles squad. Obviously went on kind of that bad little run for them with the couple losses to Farmington, Maine Maritime, and Thomas. That put them in a situation here late in the season that they're kind of in a we need to win now or we're not going to make the playoffs, despite being one of the reigning teams at the top of this conference. Obviously, Husson's been in that championship game multiple times over the last few years. So we'll see if they can kind of get over that hump. We've mentioned kind of off air, obviously, that this is a team that I think if they could go get on a run late in this season, definitely has that kind of fireworks ability to be able to push their way up the field and make a run for that championship.
We saw it last year, too. We saw they had a good push at the end of the year, and they were a very tough team to play in the playoffs, especially here at home.
Well, they barely lost in the championship game to SUNY Poly. They had a chance late in that one that went down off the crossbar, off the ground, and then back up off the crossbar, if I remember correctly. So I think the Eagles out of a situation where they'd be able to host the champion, or the playoffs that is, but are still very much in a situation where they can make it. So Weinstein making a little run up the wing here. Lean it into the middle here to Blanco. So far, this defense has stood strong. Eagles obviously haven't gotten anything up on the board themselves, but
A couple good offensive opportunities for the Eagles. Nothing's capitalized yet, but you can see that they're building something. They're building those opportunities. It's a lot better than going a good stretch 5 to 10 minutes where you don't generate anything. They've generated stuff throughout the first 15 minutes here.
I don't think Lesley's managed to push it up the field at all. Eagles trying to pinch this one down in the corner. Good step from Blanco. Gasser trying to poke it into the middle here. We'll see if the Eagles can get a body on it. But a good midfield battle there, won by the Lynx. Blanco's going to drop it back to Masamongo. So Masamongo finding Woods here. The Eagles have continued to try to push this one up the wings. And a great ball from Alvarez. Big hit down there in the box. That's going to be a penalty kick, Jacob. Gasser got wiped out down there on the post.
This is a big opportunity here for the Eagles. Good good run from Florian Gasser into the box, drawing the contact, getting into a position where you can draw contact in the box and benefit for it.
So Gasser will take it himself. He's been the PK taker for the Eagles on the season. And this is a chance for the Eagles to go up a goal in this contest. Gasser, a little stutter step. Saved by the keeper. Gasser's second chance. Buries it for the Eagles. So Husson up one here early.
Good work from Gasser to follow up his rebound. You can see sometimes on penalty kicks, the penalty taker will not go after that rebound. They'll think it's just a one-and-done play. With Gasser, it was easy for him. Ball right back to him. Ball right back to him. It was easy put into the back of the net.
Yeah, great job by Gasser. Sometimes, like you said, you'll see the kicker kind of watch the kick all the way through. I think a little unlucky for Hendricks. He got the save off, but obviously it bounced straight back right in front of the goal. You know, a lot of times with keepers, you're kind of trained. You try to punch that away from goal.
As a former goalie, that's one of those ones that you're like, if you make the first save, 9 times out of 10, if that ball goes right back, you're not going to get back to it because the defenders aren't going to get into that area quickly enough in order to capitalize and clear that one away.
Parkin going out wide here to Blanco. So the Eagles getting that first chance of the contest and burying it home. It was a great ball from Alvarez down the wing to Gasser. Kind of fitting it right through the middle of that defense. Good one-touch passing here from the Eagles on this right side. Woods trying to go right or left side, that is. Kind of mishit it though. That's going to be a foul on Blanco. I think he was trying to poke at that ball and didn't quite get there. So they're going to stop the clock here and have the trainer come out and check on him. And we'll take a quick break here, Jacob. Take a drink of water and be right back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. As that was Segundo, who's going to walk off under his own power down there. Looks like he took off that right shoe when he got stomped on. So there'll be a free kick here for the Lynx. Right around this red side restraining line on the lacrosse field. That one up over the top. Gasser going to just have to kick that one well wide. Feel for the ball boy on that one. That one way out over the bushes over there. That's a great job from Blanco to keep that one in play. So the Lynx are going to try to switch this one across field. And it's going to be a foul on Alvarez. So it'll be the Lynx' turn here to have a free kick in a good spot. I mentioned the height advantage coming into this one.
You can start to see the Lynx are starting to pressure a little more after going down a goal here, trying to generate some offense, trying to get back into this game.
Well, they came out with a very conservative, very defensive formation in this contest, which is something you can do in a tie game or especially if you're up a goal. But once you go down to a team like this Eagle squad, that's a very, very hard lead to give up.
Especially when this Eagles team has the offensive capabilities to pile on goals, pile on a second, pile on a third, and by a blink of an eye, you could be down 3-0.
Nugara, a little cut back into the middle here. Parkin going out wide to Gasser. See if Gasser can put a ball across. That one too far for Alvarez, though. Looks like Molina on the backside is going to keep it in play, though. And that one poked wide, so the Eagles will get to set up for the corner kick here. So it will be at Gasser's side here on the corner. And the Eagles piling in around the keeper on this one. That one sent into the box, headed out by the defense. Osamago tried a little circus shot on that one. Didn't get it off. Alvarez is going to keep it out wide to Gasser. That one kicked off the defender, though. And a great step there from Alvarez. Still managed to make the pass, but picking the pocket on the defensive end. There's been a fight down for it here on that far sideline. I think it's eventually going to be Gasser who's going to commit the foul. Or that might just be no, it will be a foul.
Good sign of sportsmanship there. That's one of those plays that could get real chippy really quickly. Both players walking off, giving a little pat on the back.
Well, it was one of those kind of soccer plays down there on the end that it was given away by both teams back to back. You see those kind of plays turn physical really fast when you kind of have multiple turnovers from either squad. Because then that first player is trying to get the ball back, and then they lose it, and then they're trying to get it back right again. Great step there from Woods. Woods, a very physical defender out there for the Eagles. Probably the most strength, I think, out there between him and Molina. And good header won there by Blanco. Eagles, some good passing again in the midfield. And the Eagles are going to need to adjust, I think, a little bit. Looks like the Lynx have gone a little more offensive with their formation. They're pushing these wing-back sides a little more. Obviously, that's going to open up some more room for the Eagles.
It's definitely where they can take last season's strategy of playing the ball up the sideline and playing it across more when the wingbacks are pressuring up more, given that more open space towards the line.
And dangerous play there from Woods. And Nugara slipping on that one in the midfield. I think he was going to be able to make that turn to the outside. Blanco player on his back. Parkin with it in the middle. This team definitely pressuring more than they were even just 5 minutes ago. They still haven't really had a great chance in the box or in and around the box, but have definitely had more possession up here on the offensive end. Really, the Lynx haven't had it past this kind of middle quarter of the field. That one popped up in the air. Good header one there. Lynx with a chance to try to put something across the box. It's a great step from Blanco to just poke that one. The Eagles are definitely going to have to reset a little bit. Noguera with it now. Now the fast break opportunity for Husson. Great ball from Alvarez trying to send it up the line, but Hendricks off his line will get there first.
That's the right strategy for the Eagles, trying to play that ball through, trying to use their speed to their advantage, trying to generate more offense with the speed rather than trying to technically play it, try and go through people.
And Alvarez sending it up to Molina on the wing. That one's going to get poked out. So the Eagles, another corner kick upcoming. And we've seen them be very successful on these corner kick plays in the past. I think the Eagles, one of the better kind of dead ball position teams in the conference. Alvarez very good from this near left side, and Gasser good on the right side. Alvarez has scored a couple from the corner. Eagles often try to pack it in and around the keeper. Just bend something right into the 6, make it just kind of the scrum for it. Hopefully something goes in. And obviously we've talked about some of the free kick prowess from Alvarez. Etcherworth's another guy who can put one on. I think that's going to be another corner kick here. Gasser taking that one a little bit shorter of an angle than I think he wanted originally.
May have been something to see what Lesley would do on a play like that, and then actually playing the ball that they wanted to play at the first time on this second one, try and catch him off guard.
So it's actually going to be Alvarez who's going to come in. He's going to take this with the left, so he's going to curl this away from goal. That one sent short. Molina with the poke. That one too high, though. That was a great chance for the Eagles. So it looks like Lesley will bring in a new striker here. Will be Dirac heading in up on the forward end of things. That's 3 goals on the year here for Lesley. Sophomore forward started the majority of the games for them on the year. Molina all the way over here on this right side. Great hands there from Hendricks. I think Molina and Gasser have actually switched wing positions here. So maybe they saw something on this right side that they liked better with Molina. Gasser trying to pop that one up in the air. And Neto trying to get over in front of this one. Now the Eagles have been playing a lot of balls up this right wing. So maybe switching Molina to this side is just a strategy to try to get another goal up on the board. I think also defensively. Parkin trying to go over the top to Neto. We'll see who gets there first between him and the keeper. Good job, I think, defensively from Caleb Race to just kind of push Neto away from the goalie.
You can see the high intensity pressure there from Alvarez on this new side of the field.
Yeah, you really only, the Eagles play kind of off-ball defense down in this attacking side of things till they get the team in either corner, and then they really push it up the field. Gasser trying to find a Neto out there, but taken away defensively. So we'll see what Lesley can do with this throw. They're going to send it in short. Alvarez trying to poke it away here. It's a good little cutback there. And Mongo now kicking it out. So Lesley trying to push their way up this far sideline. Definitely generate chances kind of in this aggressive manner. That one is going to be kicked too far, though, so it will be an Eagles throw. But in a spot where we'll see Lesley probably try to pinch the Eagles down in this corner. So Weinstein just trying to send it up the wing to Noguera. Going to pass it out to Blanco. Parking with it in the middle. Some pressure here from the Lynx. Good job, though, from the Eagles to break that. And Noguera with it. Had a steam. He has Molina on his right side. He's going to keep running with it and slow it back down. Drop it out to Alvarez. Now back to Parkin. Parkin finding Molina. Great little heel ball, but just a little too far out in front of Parkin. Now Molina trying to cut his way up the field. Great ball across the middle of the box here. This one headed out, sort of. And it's still in the box. Not the best clearance chances here. Eagles still with it. And Gasser couldn't quite get his knee over it. That's a tricky volley to try to take with that player right on your shoulder. That was some numerous good chances there for the Eagles. So Parkin with it here. Definitely some more pressure here from the Lynx. We didn't see that at all in that first 30 minutes.
Moving into the latter part of this first half, getting that pressure, trying to cause a turnover. The Eagles historically have been, the goalies have used their feet a lot, trying to play the ball with their feet a lot, settling the ball with their feet. One bad touch can give them an opportunity having the pressure that they bring.
Yeah, I've seen with the Eagles since Coach Goodman being the goalkeeper coach for both the men's and women's teams. He's someone who I think we've seen Husson, like you said, in this last little run for them, have a lot of keepers who are very confident with the ball at their feet. They play it back to the keeper a lot. Can definitely lead to some scary scenarios if that keeper is not confident with the ball. Gasser putting the ball in, and Neto putting that one way over the top. He had a chance at it. It was a great little flick on from Molina. Looks like Castellanos will come on for
Substitutions entering the game for the Eagles. Number 23, Alejandro Castellanos.
he came on for Alvarez, it looks like.
And number 18.
So we'll see how that shakes out with the Eagles. It looks like Castellanos is now on that wing side, and I think Gasser moving up to striker and Neto back into the midfield.
I like the decision there from Coach Bermudez, getting a fresh set of legs that can generate some offense, trying to work some different offensive strategies with Castellanos.
And a player down on the far side of the field. And it looks like both teams will take a little break here. We'll take one too here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network and be right back after he gets checked out. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Avery Henningsen alongside Jacob Willett here. A little injury timeout there. Looks like walking off under his own power, though.
Entering the game for the Lynx, number 9, Cameron DeRosa.
So I think it's going to be a Lesley drop ball here on this near sideline. So that one sending across the box. DeWitt, though, diving. That was a good chance for Lesley.
Quick reflexes from DeWitt there. Saw the ball being played across, came out and grabbed it.
Well, that can get bad really quickly if the keeper doesn't come out on that one.
Cutting down the angles. Big key part. Controlling the box.
And that's something I think a lot of goalkeepers get trained on. It's a very difficult skill, I guess, out there that kind of the read out there can be a very tricky situation because sometimes you read it right and you come out and dive on that one, or sometimes you read it wrong and then that can lead to an even better chance for the other team.
It's a lot easier playing on turf when you have weather like this and it's not slippery. You're going to get more true bounces than you would on grass or when you would get on a wet turf.
Yeah, I think a lot of keepers like turf or prefer turf to kind of a grass field.
I know I always did.
Obviously, I think a well-made grass field or a well-maintained grass field, that is, would you would have a consistent surface all the way across, but turf allows the keepers to, every read's going to be about the same. It's kind of a perfectly flat surface. There shouldn't be any kind of holes or weird bounces out there. And a good step there from Blanco to just nip that attack in the bud.
Entering the game for the Lynx, number 11, Oz Atwood.
So it looks like Atwood will come out there for the Lynx. He's going to take over out on that far wing side. So the Eagles have only made the one sub. Lesley using a little more of their bench than Husson has.
And that's something we've historically seen. We see with both the men and the women's team, they don't usually use the subs early in the first half. It's usually late in the first half, and then they generate a lot more substitutions in the second half compared to the first, say, 35 minutes of the first half.
It can be hard too. These back-to-back games like this, Alvarez or Blanco actually shoved hard in the back on that one. But with these back-to-back games, that fatigue can definitely set in as the contests go on.
Especially for those guys that play 70, 75 plus minutes in that first game, and then a quick turnaround less than 24 hours later to play another 70 to 75 minute plus game.
Great job there from the keeper to keep that one in play. There you go, dive on that one. Molina with it. He's going to give it into the middle to Blanco. Eagles going all the way across to Weinstein now. And Weinstein up the field. Going to find Molina. Molina ball towards the back post. No one there for the Eagles, though. I think he was trying to put that one right around the middle of the goal rather than all the way across. Had a couple Husson players right in and around the box. That one throw over the top. Lasamongo's going to get there first, though, and just drop it back to DeWitt. Woods driving up the field. I think he was trying to find Neto on that one. Parking it going out wide to Castellanos. Woods up the field to Molina. Molina trying to cut past the defender. Good cut back to the inside here from Molina. Not managing to get the final shot, though.
Molina's had a good stretch here. Those last 5 minutes, had the good touch on the ball down the wing, made the good cut there. Starting to generate a little offense here late in this first half.
That was a great move by Molina to cut it back to the inside. And now Neto putting a shot on that one just wide, though. As Neto not managing to keep it on frame. It's a position where you'd love to at least make the keeper make the save. And Blanco trying to get up the field. Weinstein into the middle here to Neto. Good cut to the inside. He's going to send it out wide to Noguera. Noguera back post. Molina back across. And missed chance there for the Eagles. Gasser had the whole goal in front of him. He was trying to run onto that one and couldn't quite get the final touch.
Very good offensive string there from the Eagles, playing the ball across to Molina. Molina playing it one touch back across the middle. Gasser was all alone, using his speed to get behind the defensive line.
So Chamberlain will come in, give Molina a breather out here on the wing. We'll see if the Eagles can use that fresh legs off the bench effectively here. Chamberlain has that ability to kind of turn the Jets on a little bit. And This one poking it up the field. And so Castellanos with it now. Nogueira falling. It makes the pass. Castellanos head of steam in front of him. He's going to go out wide to Gasser. Gasser back across to Chamberlain, who almost poked something in towards goal. Great job by Blanco on that one to just kick it up the field. Neto's going to flick that one with his head out wide to Nogueira. Nogueira players all around him. Very confident with players right in and around him. And Gasser's just going to kick that one off the defender for the corner kick. The Eagles moving their whole back line up the field for the corner kick. I think 3 of their best players in the air. Looks like Castellanos is going to take this one. So it's just Chamberlain and Neto all the way back isolated. Weinstein putting that one just a little too high. Good job by the Eagles to win it in the air still. Blanco trying to go into the middle here to Gasser. And Gasser getting a toe on it, actually. So Nogueira now with possession. Nogueira, what a save from Hendricks. That was on frame. Nogueira almost just put one in from distance. Hendricks diving to his left there. Managed to just get a hand up and punch it over the top of the crossbar.
Beautiful awareness there from Nogueira to see that he had an opportunity to take a shot on net. He took the shot, had the confidence in himself to take the shot, and it was beautiful placement. It was just a better save there from Hendricks.
That one put into the box. Woods get a head on it, but that one's going to go chest wide. Didn't quite hit it cleanly. Now will be a throw in on the far side of the field here for the Lynx. Castellanos, good little cut back to the middle here. Finding Neto, back to Castellanos. Finding Gasser, and that one will eventually play through. Blanco with it here. Now in too high of a pass to Nogueira, but he's going to keep it in play for Husson. Right around a minute left here in this first half. See if the Eagles can push it up the field late. Woods finding Parkin. Parkin into the middle here to Nogueira. Cuts back to his left. Puts the left-footed shot on that one. Just wide of the goal. Nogueira, great little turn there at the top of the 18. Nogueira trying to fit it into Castellanos. A little too inside. 30 seconds here. No whistle blown on that one, so we have a Husson throw in here. 15 seconds. We'll see if the Eagles even try anything. It doesn't look like they're going to. As Weinstein's just going to play it out to Woods. They'd have to put something on off of this header. And that one's just going to stray its way wide. The Eagles, though, Jacob taking the 1-0 lead in this one off of the penalty kick from Gasser. Or off of the rebound from the penalty kick from Gasser. But same sort of play on that one. So Husson in the driver's seat here against the Lynx, but the Lynx definitely keeping it close.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about this at the beginning of the game. Getting that first tally is going to be huge in this game. The Eagles got the first tally. We got to for the Lynx coming into the second half. They got to play at a more aggressive style of play. That first 30, 35 minutes of the game, they played very, very conservative, very defensively. But now you got 45 minutes left to try and get back into this game, and the Eagles are going to have the foot on their get on the gas pedal, trying to tally another goal. We saw in the last 10 or so minutes they got many opportunities to score.
And that will do it for the first half here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Jacob Willett. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Jacob Willett here. Right now, the Eagles leading the Lesley Lynx by 1 here off the foot of Florian Gasser. Had a couple of good chances in that one. Saw the Eagles be very dominant, especially offensively in that first half. I think one thing we noticed at halftime, the Eagles having more shots in that first half than they had in the entirety of yesterday's contest. Eagles with 13, Lynx with 0. Jacob, we get some of the possession stats at halftime kind of split up into zones, if you can imagine the field in kind of a 4 group, like 4 different quarters out there. This one on the backside and sent in, but headed out by Blanco. But the zone that the Lynx have the ball in right now, of their total possession in the first half, only 2% of that total possession came within 30 yards of the Eagles' goal. So the Lynx just really not having anything going on up there. Eagles with about 60% of their possession up on the offensive end of things, with 30% of that in that kind of area right around the 18.
I think that definitely has to play with the Lynx having a more conservative strategy going into that first half. They weren't in that area of the field much until probably about 8 minutes left in the first half.
Chamberlain's going to throw that one in. So now the Lynx trying to push it up the field. Definitely, Jacob, I think changing to a little more aggressive of an offense here. We've seen them actually kind of have some attacking chances here already in this first couple minutes of this second half. Eagles with a few new guys out there that we didn't see in the first half. Carson Sear up on the offensive end of things. Able to Soim taking over on this left wing. And I think that's about it in terms of substitutions. Chamberlain stayed back out there. Alvarez back in the game. Blanco on the possession on that one. He had a great first half, I think, for the Eagles, both defensively and offensively. We're seeing him more in that midfield role than we saw him to start off the year. I think that's a position that coming into his recruiting here for the Eagles was more of where he played rather than center back.
It shows that he looks more comfortable in the middle of the field there instead of on the back line. See, I think that's why they switched him and Masamango. Position-wise, gives the Eagles more dynamic, both offensively and defensively.
Well, also, I know personally that one skipping right across the front of the goal there. I know personally I played a lot of kind of central midfield back when I played soccer. The difference between playing that CDM position where you have central defensive mid, that is, where you have those 3 defenders behind you, and then playing that center back position where you're the last line of defense, it doesn't feel that different. It's a 15, 20-yard difference in terms of where you're playing on the field most of the time. But it's a big difference being that last line of defense. You can't be as aggressive. You're more playing a zone rather than man marking out there. And I know a lot of people can struggle with that positioning.
And we saw in that first half, Blanco was very, very strong on the offensive side of the field. So having him in that position where he can capitalize on both his offensive strengths and his defensive strengths gives the Eagles more dynamic in the middle of the field instead of having him try and cut back on his offensive natures.
Castellanos trying to head that one up the wing. Trying to get it to Noguera. little cut back there from Castellanos out on the wing, trying to cut through the defense. That was a good team effort there from the Lynx. And the Storm's just going to step and kick that one wide. Eagles trying to pinch the Lynx down in the middle here. Blanco getting it poked away. Great little foot there from Neto. And Sear trying to get over to it. Blanco trying to find Noguera. Noguera chopped down at the top of the 18 here. So Noguera fouled there about 8 yards off the top of the 18. So Alvarez in the game. It's a position where he can definitely put something on frame. This is not where you want to give away free kicks to this Eagle squad.
Especially with Mario Alvarez hovering around the ball in this area.
So it's actually Neto who's going to stand over it. Interesting. Alvarez is the guy that I would have thought would be over it. Neto's going to put this one just wide of the post. Good shooting chance there for the Eagles.
Eagles generating offensive opportunities here early in the second half. Still having the foot on the in the driver's seat heading into this half. Getting another goal on top would give them a lot more confidence heading into the rest of this half.
Chamberlain winning that one in the air. And no foul there on that shove behind Alvarez. Going to call the offsides there pretty late on the Lynx there.
First offsides of the contest for either team.
Yeah, this Eagles team doesn't get caught offsides all that much. They play a lot of kind of midfield play rather than those long balls up through the middle. And obviously we mentioned the Lynx haven't had a whole lot of offensive possession, so just haven't had those chances to be offside. So it's not all that surprising from these two. So I'm a lot of room in front of him. Trying to fit it through the defense. Great sliding play there from Blanco. And this one poked down the line. Castellanos is going to kick it wide. And Blanco's going to head that one towards the sideline. That was a great little cutback there from the Lynx. That's going to be a foul on Blanco. As he gets back to his feet here. He was kind of trying to step to that position. And I think probably the call on that one just being in a spot that technically Lesley, I think, having the right to that area. That one blocked by Noguera, the only wall out there. And the Swarm getting on top of this. They'll be out for a goal kick here for the Eagles. Lesley's definitely moved it up a notch, I think. I don't think they've had a shot, despite having some more offensive pressure here in the second half. But they're giving themselves those opportunities to try to get something on goal.
Started to notice it in like the last 10 minutes of the first half. They started to play a little more aggressively on the offensive end, pressuring the ball when the Eagles had it on the back line.
He'll be out for a Lynx throw-in on the far side. Two teams not really getting a whole lot of chances offensively. The Eagles have struggled a little bit so far in the second half. They haven't really had a whole lot of anything up on the offensive end. It's really been all Lynx ball here on the possession side of things. And good body positioning there from Masamango to block out the offensive player. Let that one roll out for the goal kick. That's a senior play right there from the defender. I think you might see a younger defender just kick that one wide, but Masamango trusting himself to be able to just kind of shield that one out of play. So I'm going all the way across to Chamberlain. This one out on the far side will be kicked out wide for a throw-in. Chamberlain and Neto will take this one short here. Neto's going to try to push it up the field. I think that was a handball on that one. I think Neto was looking for it. Definitely hit him in the arm, but had his hand at his side. I believe the rule is if you kind of have your arm away from your body, or obviously if you make a clear move towards the ball with your hand, that will result in it. If your arm's kind of up in the air, that can be a handball, but usually if your hand's just at your side, that won't lead to that positioning.
Yeah, it was definitely unintentional. His arm happened to be where the ball was, in the path of the ball.
The Swarm cutting this one up through the middle of the field. A great run on the ball there from him. Sear trying to cut this one back. He's going to get fouled right at the top of the 18. Eagles will have another free kick here. We'll see if it's Alvarez or Neto who's going to take it. We saw Neto take the one a few minutes ago and not really do much with it. I think from this position, you're at least trying to put something on frame.
This is pretty similar to the same positioning of the Neto free kick.
I think it's definitely a little more to the right side. Easier for Alvarez to try to bend this one with the left foot towards that upper corner as that one just high over the top. It's weird with the netting down there. It kind of looks like it went in for a second.
Especially at our angle where we are, and we're not kind of directly in line with the goal there.
Alvarez almost bending that one up into the upper part of the goal. Trying to go right over the top of the wall. That's a tricky. You're trying to get up over that wall. That's probably about an average. if they're jumping as well. You got to think in that kind of 6 foot to 7 foot range, and then have it dip back down under the crossbar.
That's one of those ones that if you hit it over, so what? If you get it in, it's a great goal. There's not a lot to lose trying to go over top of the wall compared to trying to bend it around.
So Neto committing that foul down in front of the Husson bench. That one, great ball in, but DeWitt, strong hands, will get right there. Mongo going out wide here to DeSoyne. Woods is going to drop this one all the way back to DeWitt. And a great step there from Lesley, but eventually it's going to get kicked wide. Husson throwing.
Starting to see that pressure get ticked up a little bit more compared to the beginning of this half from the Lynx.
That one's sent up through the middle of the field. Noguera trying to dribble this one down around the corner. So it will be a corner kick here for the Eagles. I think it's Castellanos who's going to take this one. Eagles packing in right around the keeper. That one back post. Good hands from Hendricks to poke that one wide. So the Eagles trying to pinch this one down in the corner. It's a great ball up the line. Mongo trying to head it. And eventually poked out by Neto. So it'll be a free kick here for Husson. Alvarez will take this one. Alvarez towards the back post. That one headed out by the defense, though. And Alvarez back on the ball here. Just trying to cut that one through to Chamberlain. Neto on it here. Chance to put something across. That'll be out for the corner kick. That's on Alvarez's preferred side. We're definitely going to see the Eagles pack it in around the keeper on this one. So we'll see what Alvarez can do on this corner kick. Obviously seen him be very strong on these ones before. Ball in towards the box. That one was either, I think, just headed over the top by the defender. That was cutting in towards goal. I had a chance at it. So it'll be a corner kick on the far side again. Eagles a couple in a row here. That one again headed up and over. So they're going to put the same play here. And that one, Neto trying to put a shot on that one. A little too high, though. So it'll be a goal kick here for Lesley. Hendricks is going to try to push this one up the field. And second ball won by Parkin. And Alvarez, a little missed touch there to Neto. But Castellanos slowing it down for now. Noguera getting on possession of it, though. Fight for it. It's going to try to send Sear down the line. And too strong of a pass on that one. We're going to call the substitution on that one. It'll be Dirac heading back out there. And fighting for it in the middle here. Neto trying to get it off of the defender here, but good job defensively. And Neto on possession, trying to fit it in towards Sear. Hendricks just getting there in front of Sear, though. And he's going to kick that one out wide. So I'm trying to head it up the field. Parkin trying to poke it away. And it's going to be a foul there on Noguera. Chamberlain sliding in there on that one. Eventually going to go too wide, though. So we'll be back to Lesley here. And DeWitt's going to come out and collect that one. The Eagles so far still holding this Lynx squad shotless. Alvarez out wide to Chamberlain here. Neto gets sandwiched between a couple defenders. So now fast break opportunity here for Lesley. Good ball to the corner. If they can keep that one in, they are. And Woods will come in and just clear that one wide. Looks like the Eagles are going to bring back in a few of the starters from the first half. Looks like Gasser and Molina is going to head out there. So Sear will come off and Neto. I'm guessing Molina is going to push to the wing. It looks like they're actually putting Molina into the central midfield. So Molina playing more like a center attacking midfield role right now, Jacob. Not somewhere we've seen him a whole lot over his whole career for Husson. Molina's played a lot of minutes for the Eagles, over 4,000 in his career, but most of that being on the defensive end. Then he's been moved to cam recently, or to wing recently, and now into that central midfield role. Coach Bermuda is trying something out here with one of his star defenders and star players, really. And Molina's, not to cut you off there, what were you going to make the point out there?
I think the fact that having Molina in the middle of the field now gives the Eagles more avenues of offense to work through. Having Molina facilitate the ball in the middle, it can give Mario Alvarez, it can give Florian Gasser the opportunity to make runs and get more offense, trying to see if down the line, trying to gain a little more offense, playing Molina in the middle of this field is going to help them later down the line in the season.
Well, Molina's always been really confident with the ball at his feet in more of a wide position. It'll be interesting to see how he does at this defensive or at the middle position out there. There's just more players in around you. You don't really have that ability. You have less space, I think, when you're playing in the central midfield than you do out on the wing. That one sent all the way up the field by DeWitt. They're going to call the foul there on Chamberlain. Looked like the referee was signaling foul on Lesley at first. Changed his mind on that choice, so it'll be a free kick here from right about midfield. Should have the leg to get this one into the box, potentially. It's actually going to be taken a little short. The second ball back in. Woods getting there on the header. But it's going to be headed out of play for the throw-in. That one's sent into the middle. Molina trying to get it up to Alvarez. The Lynx definitely having their way with the Eagles a little bit in this second half in the midfield. They've increased that pressure. Husson hasn't looked quite as dominant as they looked in the first half. That was a great touch from Alvarez to find Gasser. Now going to go out wide to Noguera. Noguera cutting back to the middle, poked away though. And Parkin not quite managing to get there. That one a strong touch. Chamberlain trying to send it up to the corner. That one will be kicked out wide. Husson throw in here. Looks like it might be a goalkeeper change here for the Lynx. Interesting at this point in the game, Hendricks has looked really good in net. Josiah Williams, the starter in yesterday's game. He's been more of the consistent starter on the season. It's going to be a foul there on Molina. So I think Hendricks actually coming off for the injury reasons. So Williams is going to head out there.
Entering the game for the Lynx, number 0, Josiah Williams.
So he'll take over goalkeeping duties here for the Lynx. That would kind of explain that late substitution. Usually you don't see starting keepers get removed kind of randomly through the middle of a half, especially when they've been playing pretty well out there.
Yes, I definitely Hendricks deserved to have this game. He's been playing very well. He's kept the Lynx in this game. I think knowing an injury purposes, you have to play it. Got to keep your players safe.
And Chamberlain dragged down by the hip out there on the far side. They're actually going to call the foul on Chamberlain. Or it's just a throw-in, actually, so no foul called on that one. So Molina called for the foul there. Could have been a fast break opportunity for the Eagles. You had Molina with a head of steam in front of him and a lot of green grass. That one sent into the box. DeWitt gets there first, though. And accurate punt out here to the wing. But the Swarm not managing to connect with Noguera. Castellanos will take the easy throw in down on the near side. And this one now sent down to the corner. Will be slid out of play for the corner kick. The Eagles electing to rather be able to set up for the cross than take the first time cross there from Lesley.
Entering the game for the Lynx, number 16, Wasim Cheyenne.
That one sent across. Great ball to the back post, to which just going to get a hand to it. Noguera's going to just clear it out wide for the throw-in. So Lesley continuing to have a lot of pressure here on the Eagles. That one sent into the box. And Lesley putting one back in here. Parkin, good little cutback in the middle. He's going to get caught from behind on that one. I don't think the defender there trying to make that foul, just poking for the ball. Caught Parkin instead. Molina finding Castellanos. Castellanos out wide to Noguera. Molina's going to put a shot, but not enough behind it on that one. And that one's going to get headed out of play for the throw-in. Little cut there in the midfield. Castellanos, defender right on his back shoulder. He's going to try to send one up the field. And strikers in this second half for the Eagles just haven't really had the chance to get anything on the ball. Seen first Sear and now Gasser just kind of doing a lot of running around out there, but the Eagles not really connecting in the midfield in this second half. So Castellanos trying to find Noguera. He's going to hand it off to DeSorm. And DeSorm gets it poked away. Good little spin there in the middle. So the Lynx continuing to have this offensive pressure. They haven't really gotten in around goal at all. I think that's the first shot of the contest for the Lynx. So it will be a goal kick here for the Eagles. They're going to take this one very short here to Masamongo. And that one's straying just wide for the throw-in. And hitting the 10-minute mark here in this first half, or second half, that is. The offsides flag went up on that one, but allowing the Eagles to just play the possession. Noguera going to the middle here to Molina. Going to kick that one off the defender. And Molina catches the yellow card there in the middle. He lost that possession and was chasing the player down, trying to get on it. So Neto's going to come in and replace Chamberlain. Chamberlain got caught in the nose potentially. And DeWitt, good hands again. They had the idea with Gasser. You've got Noguera on this left wing with no one around him. No one sees him, though. They're going to drop it short to Castellanos. And some nice footwork down here. Molina's got to be careful just getting that yellow a minute ago. And great step there from DeSorm. DeSorm's got room in front of him. He's going to try to go out wide to Gasser. If he had gotten his toe on that one, would have been able to keep it running for the Eagles. Gasser going to find Parkin in the middle. He's going to work his way past one defender. Now finding DeSorm. Storm's going to poke it towards Neto. And Molina trying to get there. Molina's going to poke it away. Clean play, finding Gasser on the wing. Gasser back to Molina. Molina shot! That one just wide. And it was offsides anyways, as that was almost a great connection there from the Eagles.
Yeah, one of probably arguably the best opportunity they've had so far in the second half. I know they had a couple corners back to back to back, but that was arguably one of the better opportunities. Actually connecting on passes and getting an offensive chance.
So the Lynx trying to work this one up the right sideline. Alvarez is going to poke it free and just kick it up the field. Looks like the Eagles have dropped a few guys back defensively. Up one here, about 7 minutes left. Eagles just don't want to concede a goal at this point. DeSorm's going to come and just kick this one way up the field. That was a great clearance on the defensive end. So taken away by Noguera. Great cut back to Gasser with the left-footed shot, but couldn't quite get around it like he wanted to. The Eagles have had to take a lot of shots with their off feet in this one. Seen a number of chances from Husson being close but not quite there. Obviously, we've talked about the fact that they've struggled in the past a little bit with kind of finishing once they get around goal. They're really, really good in this kind of defense to attacking midfield part of the field, but then they've often struggled getting in and around goal and then creating those scoring chances. I think part of that kind of comes back to the fact that they don't really have a true striker sort of in that sense on this squad. A couple years ago, you had Arnie Hreiderson, who was one of those guys that you could kind of give the ball to on the offensive end, and he could bring it in towards goal and try to score that goal.
Yeah, as you said, that there's a lot of this team has a lot of capable, strong midfielders, but not having that guy that you can play up top and play the ball over the top and more times than not get a goal out of it. It makes it having a bunch of good midfielders and not having that top guy is not good for offensive consistency purposes.
Yeah, the Eagles have had a lot of guys who are, I would consider more to be midfielders that have been kind of pushed into a more of a striker role. Like the one guy on the squad who kind of fits more of that striker build being Carson Sear, but obviously still the freshman has struggled a little bit offensively for the Eagles. So it's a lot of kind of having 8 different midfielders and trying to figure out which of them would be best at that striker position. So under 5 minutes here. Lynx going to try to push this one up the field in the final couple minutes here of this game. Eagles obviously in a position where pretty much anything that comes to the defense is just going to be cleared as far up the field as possible. And DeWitt's going to fall on this one in the box. And I don't think the Eagles are going to play this one short. DeWitt's going to roll out in front of him. Send that one up the field. Gasser winning the header. Going to be back out to Neto here. And that one kicked too far for the throw-in. .3:30 left here in this second half. Eagles are going to have Molina come all the way back and take it. That one sent up the field to Neto. He's going to find Parkin. Parkin gets his pocket picked by the defender on the backside. Alvarez, oh, great job defensively. And DeSorm just trying to send that one up the field. And that one mistouched by him. Great tackle there from Alvarez. Looks like he might be in some pain after that one, though. And they're going to stop the clock. Lunged out at that play. Obviously, Alvarez, one of those players who's very important for the Eagles, both offensively and defensively out there. I know he's had some heel troubles earlier in the year. Looks like a little bit gingerly on that heel. So Chamberlain's going to replace him out there. I think that might have been one of those ones where he's sticking out his foot to try to stop that play. And it definitely got his ankle jammed a little bit. But he will walk off under his own power. Chamberlain heading into the game for him. So I think Molina getting pushed back into the central midfield. Sending this ball up the wing to Chamberlain. Chamberlain, ball back across, and Gasser not managing to get around on it again. So 2:30 here in this second half. The Lynx trying to push it up the field. Down one here. Good step from Molina. Molina cutting his way through the middle of the defense. Eventually, it's going to get poked away from him. And Neto trying to cut his way past the defender. Still fighting for it. That one's sliding up the field. Castellanos is just going to boot it. That one's going to be headed out for the throw, and the Eagles will be able to take their time getting over there. Referee's going to stop the clock to kind of stop the Eagles from doing some of this time wasting. So the Lynx trying to just push this one up the field. Chamberlain there to stop that one. Can give it to Parkin. Parkin cutting around in the middle. He gets shoved off the ball. No foul. The Lynx here. Chance to try to push it up. Good little cut back into the middle. Shot blocked away by Masamongo. Still alive, though, for the Lynx. Eagles need to get back on defense. Woods, great job to just kick that one up the field. Neto turning into that. Noguera, he gets cut down. Eagles take back possession here under a minute. That was almost a little bit of an opportunity there for the Lynx.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a dangerous positioning from the Eagles. Only having Woods back there with DeWitt is able to clear the ball away and give the Eagles a little bit of breathing room.
So referee having a conversation here with Parkin. So will be the kick here from DeWitt. Referee's not going to let him roll that one up as far as he wanted it to be.
Try to get a little extra breathing room.
So DeWitt's got a lot of leg on him. This one's sent up the field. Molina's just going to kick that one up to the far sideline. About 40 seconds left here in the contest. Finding Molina now. Molina out wide to Gasser. Gasser trying to put a ball across. Molina with the second chance. And he missed that. Kick at it. Great little chest ball here. Masamongo, great defensive stand to come all the way back over. The senior captain making the big time tackle here late. Still a chance for the Lynx. This one across DeWitt with his hands on it. 9, 8, 7. And counting down the clock here, DeWitt should be able to just send this one up the field and all but end this contest. Eagles take down the Lynx twice this weekend. 2 big conference wins for the Eagles as the season goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing very strong defensively today and pretty much this whole weekend. It's good momentum for the Eagles to head into their next contest against Farmington on Wednesday. Trying to get a little more momentum, trying to tack on a couple more wins as we head closer and closer into the playoff picture.
Yeah, the Eagles will have a couple big away matchups coming up, going out to Farmington to take them on Wednesday, the 16th at 3:30, before taking on Thomas on that following Saturday at home. I believe that's their senior night or their homecoming, one of the two for them. So Thomas, that place will be rocking. We saw Thomas dominate the Eagles earlier in the year we'll see if that plays out again. Eagles, a little bit of a different formation now later on in the season. We'll see how they manage to match up against the Terriers of Thomas College. The Lynx, after dropping 2 here to the Eagles, not helping their conference record. They'll be taking on Farmington that same Saturday before traveling to Thomas. So similar upcoming games for Lesley as well as the Eagles. Husson will be back at home to take on Maine Maritime on the 23rd. And we'll be back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network for that game. But for now, we hope you join us for the women's game as well, which will be coming up in about 30 minutes here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. But I've been Avery Henningsen alongside Jacob Ouellette. Have a good rest of your afternoon.